wife and I were privileged to escort our son, HaRav, to his chuppah with this tune. The third and final shot. Bano Hashem Keni Avdecha. If you look at Tehillim, that's spelled Aleph Nun Aleph. It's spelled Aleph Nun Hey, which could easily mean Ana, whither, to where. Ana, I'm asking, where am I going? It's not a request at all. It's just a question, where am I going? Hashem, where am I going? In order to serve you best, to be an Eved Hashem. Since we're talking about family, those of you who have the Late Avos CD, and if you don't have it yet, I'm sure after tonight's Kumsitz you'll all want to buy it. And the Mechutin should be started out there to make sure that you don't leave without it. If you look carefully at the jacket, there are a number of people that are thanked by Avram. One of them is my mother, Oleha Hashalom. Speaking of family, I think that I'm perhaps a conduit to transfer some of the amazing musical talents and devotion and dedication that my mother, Oleha Shalom, had to the children, especially to Avram. He appropriately thanks her for giving him the beginning of music appreciation. And Chazal tell us that we can remember things for a certain amount of years and then begin to start to forget. Chazal tell us that Vayares Ha'agolos, that Yaakov remembered what he had last learned, his last interaction with Yosef at Eglah Rufa, which is 22 years earlier. It's very hard to believe. My mother was taken from us more than 22 years ago. But we don't forget. We cannot forget. We dare not forget. This niggin, Shalom B'Chelech. There should be peace. In your home. Shalom B'Amanosayich. Was my last interaction with my mother, Oleha Shalom. This is what I was singing to her. Holding the Shem departed. And in our family, this song obviously has a special meaning. Some of the Mepharshim and Tillim explain, we're desperate for Shalom B'Chelech. Chelech also has a meaning of Chayil, of army. David HaMelech is desperate for Shalom, his army should come back to Shalom without any casualties. Unfortunately, as Yerushalmi explains, his tefillahs weren't completely answered. There were certain casualties in David HaMelech's army. Chazal say, amazingly, that HaRav, who was an Oved Avodah Zarah, his troops came back without casualties. How can that be? Chazal explained that unfortunately within David HaMelech's army there was some infighting and some filturin and there were backstabbing. This caused terrible losses, casualties. HaRav, they all went in peace. Even though the peace was based on Avodah Zarah, still there were spared casualties. So we sing this niggin, Shalom B'Chelech Shalom B'Nosayach. Shalom B'Chelech is not in our hands. In the schus of Shalom B'Nosayach, of peace in our own palaces, our own homes, our own private homes, our own families. In that schus, Kodesh Baruch Hu gives Shalom B'Chelech, his peace for our armies, especially now we need peace in Eretz Yisrael so desperately. I want to recognize the presence of the Marad Asher, Rabbi Newberg Shalita, who was a man of Shalom. I want to recognize the presence I didn't mention before. The Rabbanim were here before. Rabbi Sabalovsky, Rabbi Yuchad, was to say that he grew up in a house is not much of an exaggeration. I want to recognize the presence of Mrs. Sabalovsky, the proud mother and grandmother. Baruch Hashem. We should continue to have many, many connections to our families as we go on. And I'm very proud to be sitting flanked by Rabbi Yehuda. Avram's the main star. Simcha, my son-in-law Rabbi Elio, and Rabbi Akiva. That was recognized already. At many of whose weddings the Shalom was sung, I can't say exactly how many of the people here, certainly many of them, probably the majority of them, this niggun was sung. We should all daven to Hashem. I mentioned before my mother, Aleh Shalom. Her Masorah from her parents was that families have to stick together no matter what. No matter what differences of opinion, no matter what different places, different things, different attitudes, families must stick together. Families, siblings, and their spouses, and parents, and children have to be together. It's such a critical and important lesson. That's the only way we're going to have Shalom B'Chelech, the ultimate Shalom with the B'Yas HaMashiach from here. Hey.
Here's a niggin from our album. Joy, Hashem.